This is our Disruptor segment. People around the country running for office trying to disrupt the status quo and the political system. And joining us now, second time encore, Ruth Papazian is with us. Ruth, you've got some other people now running in that district. You kind of the first one out. You said, look, I'm going to raise money nationally. I'm going to beat AOC. She cost the district 20,000 high-paying jobs and some of the other nonsense and antics that have gone on, right? And you said, look, I've kind of had it with this thing, and I think I'm going to be in a good position. Now you've got a lot of other people jumping in the fray, wanting in on the action. How do you stand now?
Well, this is going to be a wild race. People are opportunistically switching political parties and moving into the district to run against AOC as Republicans. The Bronx County GOP chair, Mike Rendino, already sent one of them packing, telling him that he would not endorse a carpetbagger. And one of the more out there candidates went to prison for dealing crack, and he's running as a Republican.
I tell you what, when you've got people dealing crack that are trying to become candidates, I don't think that's a good thing. Tell me about the person that was a Democrat and voted for Obama 2 times, and now she's all of a sudden a Republican and wants to get rid of AOC, and she was on Hannity and Fox News. What's up with that?
Well, that's Cherie Marie. Around here, she's known as the Fox News candidate. Let me start off by saying that I think it's great that more women are entering politics, especially on the Republican side. But the thing is, I care more about a candidate's policies than about gender or race. And Cherie Marie said that she voted for Obama because he inspired her, as an African American. And then she congratulated AOC on defeating Crowley because she inspired her as a woman. Well, the first time she voted for Obama, she was a Democrat.
Right.
The second time she voted for Obama, she was a Republican, and his track record of failed policies was manifest. So I really don't know how a Republican could be inspired to vote for Obama in 2012. So the other problem with her is that she lives in District 5 in Southeast Queens, whereas the race against AOC is in District 14, which comprises the East Bronx and Northwest Queens neighborhoods on both sides of the Whitestone Bridge. Now, none of us in the district are really sure where she stands politically. So it's everybody's perplexed. I think that my community has no doubt about where I stand on AOC. Mm-hmm. She's a media darling whose socialist policies would bankrupt the middle class, and I'm running to give the people in my district a voice in Congress once again. I'm from here, for here, and that's pretty much all you need to know about, what's her name, Cherie Marie.
Let me just ask you this. I mean, she doesn't live in the district. She voted for Obama. Why the love affair with Fox News?
I have no idea. Obviously, none of the Fox presenters vetted her. I don't know. I've never seen a rollout of a campaign this aggressive, but it got the hackles up of people over here. They felt like this was somehow rigged. They'd never seen such a full court press before for any candidate, Democrat or Republican. Mm-hmm. And because of AOC, we're very sensitive to carpetbaggers and people opportunistically running here. Look, Hillary Clinton became a New Yorker all of a sudden to run for the Senate.
Right.
Going back to Bobby Kennedy, the same thing. This happens in New York.
Right.
But with AOC being completely out of step ideologically with this moderate, middle-class district of swing voters,
right,
people don't want to go down that road again.
You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network live today in Orlando, Florida. We're with Ruth Papazian. Ruth, let me just ask you this straight-up question. Why haven't you been on Fox News like the other candidate has?
Well, I did announce my candidacy on Martha McCallum's show. That's prime time.
Right.
And I've been in the New York Times, the New York Daily News, the New York Post several times. It's not like I was hiding under a rock. So I really don't know why Hannity and Ingram and Varney and some of the other people didn't know about me. I have no answer for that.
They didn't know about you. Now you're running. So are there going to be multiple candidates in a Republican primary? Because in New York, there's registered voters, right? So you have to be registered in a Republican primary to vote in that primary. That's when I was there. That's the way it was. In fact, when I was registered there, I actually registered as on the conservative line. Like I was a member of the Conservative Party, not the GOP, because I hated it. So, so I was a member of the Conservative Party. There was conservative, liberal, Democrat, and Republican. Now I'm going back sometimes since I lived there. But so will this get sorted out in a Republican primary? How will this work, Ruth?
Well, as you noted, New York is a closed primary state. So only registered Republicans can vote in the Republican primary. There are conservatives. They cannot vote in the Republican primary. They can only vote in the general election. And even on the Democratic side, there are third parties. I don't think there's a liberal party anymore, but there's like the Working Families Party and the Women's Equality Party. They are aligned with the Democrats, but people registered in those parties cannot vote in the Democratic primary either. So what has to happen now is all the candidates who are running have to get ballot access. That means that they have to go around the district and get petitions signed from registered Republicans around the district to get them on the ballot. They need a certain percentage of the registered Republicans. Mm-hmm. Now, the petitions are going to go out, start being circulated in February, which is one of the coldest months here, and
right.
and a month with the shortest days. So a lot of the volunteers will be doing this after work. Well, they won't have more than like 1.5 hours of daylight. So it's going to be very challenging. And the people who get on the ballot are going to have to hire an army of volunteers to get the district covered in the short amount of workable hours there are on freezing cold days where there might be blizzards. You see the picture, the window is very small, so you're going to need a lot of volunteers, and that's going to take money. So some of the candidates who are FEC registered now might not be able to pass that hurdle.
Okay,
so I guess the process is going to winnow out some of the field.
Right. So in order for you, Ruth, to run against AOC, you will have to win a Republican primary, of which there will probably be several challengers. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.
Yes. And so why do you think you're the best candidate to take her on? Because one of the questions would be, why does anybody want to take her on? Because they'd be a massive underdog. Obviously, this is a very Democratic district. We've already been over this. But why would you be the best candidate?
Well, I just want to give your listeners a recap of the district, because it's not quite as dire as it appears on paper. So, yes, the district is plus 29 Democrat on the Cook Partisan Voter Index, but half the Democrats stay home during any given general election. So right off the bat, the numerical average is cut by half. So also the quality of the Democrats. They are politically moderate. They don't vote straight down the party ticket. And virtually every one of the precincts that Donald Trump won in the Bronx and Queens were in my congressional district. So that gives you a snapshot of the district. And I should also add, it's stable middle class. 58% of the residents make more than $50,000 a year, and about a quarter of them make more than $100,000 a year. And these don't sound like socialists, right?
Right.
There are more people in the district between the ages of 40 to 69 years old than there are Generation Z and millennials between 20 and 39 years old. Mm-hmm. So, again, these are homeowners with families. Again, they don't sound like socialists. And although Latinos do comprise 48% of the district, but roughly a third of them are Republican or conservative. So, again, this district doesn't have its hair on fire for socialism. As far as AOC goes, the Democratic primary that she won against Crowley only 12% of the Democrats came out to vote. So it was an ultra-low primary, a turnout primary. And in the general election, remember, half the Democrats stayed home. That was Crowley's base. They were not about to vote for a socialist, and the Republicans had not put up a viable candidate. They stayed home. Okay, but of the Democrats who came out, she got less than half of the registered Democratic vote. I mean, she got less than half of all the Democrats in the district. So you can't even say that she got a majority of her party's votes in the district. Mm-hmm. She is very vulnerable here. She has only a 21% approval rating in the district.
Now, how did you get that number, Ruth? The 21%.
There's been polling done. Gallup did a poll. Quinnipiac did a poll. And the polls are remarkably consistent. They're finding that her approval rating is in the 20s, low 20s. And in one poll, people said about a third of the people in the district said they would not vote for her.
Wow. So she's got a 22% approval. So obviously what you want to do is you want to win the Republican primary, get on the ballot, and then obviously this is a very Democratic district, but you hope to get independents and Republicans to vote her out. Now she'll spend, I don't know if she'll spend millions of dollars there, right? I mean, she's got unlimited fundraising opportunity with all these social media followers. So anybody that runs against her is going to get outspent 20-1. And I would imagine if they did a poll and the thing was close, they'd raise more money. I mean, with that many social media followers, you just send tweets out for money. You do a money bomb. It all comes in small donations. That's what she's going to do. So this on paper, this seems like an almost impossible task, but you've got to do it. But the first thing is you've got to get on the ballot. And I don't know this other woman. I know you. This is the second time we've talked on the radio. I've also talked to you on the phone, and we've emailed. So I don't know who this other lady is, but I was kind of shocked that all of a sudden I see her on Hannity and this and that. She's all over Fox News, and then I find out that she's voted for Obama twice and for a bunch of Democrats. Now, I voted for Democrats too, but I didn't vote for Obama. I mean, there's a big difference, all right? So, too liberal for me. But look, you have a fight on your hands. Obviously, there's multiple candidates in your party that believe the nomination is worth fighting for, and so you're going to have to go out and win it.
I think that my ace in the hole is that I am from here and for here. The people in my district know who I am, know what I stand for. Now, as far as AOC and her followers on Twitter, they are from all around the country. They are not from here. Mm-hmm. And so on Election Day, they mean nothing. Mm-hmm. The money means nothing. She has very little support in this community, and almost none of her money is coming from this community. For example, we just finished an FEC reporting period, and in my case, I haven't started my big fundraising push yet, although I will now. But just from social media activity alone, I was able to raise money from my Facebook and Twitter followers. Now, my donations do come from people in the district, like an artist in Bayside, Queens, gave me $10. A policeman in Bedford Park, the Bronx, gave me $100. Mm-hmm. A dentist in Jefferson Heights, Queens, another $100. A DJ in Jamaica, Queens, $100. A retiree in Pelham Bay, $25. So with AOC, though, Cranes just did an analysis of her fundraising, and almost all of her money originates outside her district, and much of it outside New York. So Cranes found out that she had something like 4,200 contributors during this latest filing period, and only a few dozen of them live in the East Bronx or Northwest Queens.
Well,
and fewer than 400 originated inside New York. So she has, a couple of dozen people who gave her money here? What does that tell you? I mean, people,
it tells you she's vulnerable. Look, it tells you she's vulnerable, and
Yeah.
of course, defeating her would be one of the most gratifying things in America. That's why, look, Ruth, other people want the opportunity to take her on. They must think it's worth something, and but you're going to have to fight for the Republican nomination, which under normal circumstances, if you're willing to put your name on the ballot, they give you a hug. Right now, you're going to have to fight for it because obviously people think it's worth fighting for. So that's what you have to do. You're going to have to go out there and take it and take the seat from her. And it is not going to be easy. And if you are the nominee, the left wing, if they feel that she's at all vulnerable, I mean, this is their darling, they're going to come down on you with everything they got.
I'm ready. I'm a Bronxite through and through. And in my speeches, I tell people I may be only 5 feet tall, but I'm 5 feet full of fight. So let them come. I'm ready.
All right, Ruth. Papazian, 5 feet, only took me 15 times. 5 feet full of fight. So we don't let the size matter. What matters is what's in your heart, not the size of your stature. Ruth, love having you on, man. Let's keep doing this. And John Fredericks Radio Network, thanks for being with us today.